A very good evening to all of you. আজি আমি আগবাঢ়িম এইডোখৰ পৰা আমি পঢ়ি আছিলো আমাৰ মৰিয়া টাইমছত কেনেকুৱা আমাৰ কি ঘটনা হৈ আছিল মেটেৰিয়েল কালচাৰটো কেনেকুৱা হৈছিল এটো বিষয় আমি পঢ়ি আছিলো ৰাজুকাজ আপোনালোকে গম পাইছে ৰাজুকাজ কি হয় ৰাজুকাজ শুনিছে নে কেতিয়াবা ৰাজুকাজ সকলে কি কৰিছিল কাম Class of officers, judicial officer, judge, very good. Rewarding and punishing, very good. Elephant, asile je eta elephant to quote as a Morian elephant eta asile je. Dholi to kenuka pillar inscription, rock edict, aru ki hoy? Minor rock edict, major rock edict ki hoy? Eto kobo lagibo dholi to. Major rock edict. Okay, very good. Very good. Thank you so much. Let us begin. It seems that the punch-marked silver coins, ami kali photo dekhisilu, which carry the symbols of peacock and hill and crescent, form the imperial currency of the Mauryas. So, eto manot rakhok peacock, hill and crescent. Eto factual eta prashno hobo pare. So peacock, hill, crescent kune jari korisile pudi dibo pare. It will be a very tough question if asked. Bohote nwaribo. So UPSC may try to avoid it also. So UPSC by APSC hodai easy prashno bilage hudibo. But tothapi apnalage jeta pohise monot rakhibole easy hobo peacock aru hill aru crescent. Hill mane pahar aru ardha chandra etu June to enuga ase. Form the imperial currency of the Mauryas. They have been discovered in large numbers. So evidence ase, evidence taka karone dibo prashno to dibo pare. Apparently they contributed to the collection of taxes and payment of officers in cash. So payment dia to bahut important. Jodi officers ok bhal payment nidiye tete officers bela corruption koribo lagibo. ঠিক আছে সো এখানে পেমেন্ট টু দিয়াটো বহুত ইম্পর্টেন্ট আর করাপশন হৈ গলে কি হ'ব গুটে এম্পায়ার খন ধ্বংস হৈ যাব ঠিক আছে যেনেকে ইস্ট ইন্ডিয়া কোম্পানিত করাপশন হোৱা কাৰণে ইস্ট ইন্ডিয়া কোম্পানি ধ্বংস হৈ গল তেনেকুৱা কথা further because of its uniformity the currency must have facilitated market exchange in a wider area তো একেটাই মুদ্ৰা সবতে চলি আছে তাৰ মানে সবৰ ট্ৰাস্ট আছে হেতুৰ ওপৰত আৰু হেকাৰণে wider market eta wider area eta lobo parise the Mauryas made a remarkable contribution to art and architecture they introduced stone masonry on a wide scale stone masonry mane ki hilor jibilak bostu karukarya ebilak korile so ami pillars ebilak dekhuno ebilak stone masonry hoy On a wide scale, Megasthenes states that Maurya palace at Pataliputra. Megasthenes কোন আছিল আকৌ? Who was Megasthenes? Megasthenes কোন আছিলে? তেওঁ Maurya palace কি কৰি আছে? Greek ambassador. কোন ৰজা Greek ambassador হয়? কোনটো ৰজা? It is important. Seleucus Nicator পঠাইছিল Seleucusক পৰাস্ত কৰিছিলে কোনে চন্দ্ৰকোটাস মানে চন্দ্ৰগুপ্তা ঠিক আছে আৰু Seleucusৰ জীয়েকক চন্দ্ৰগুপ্তালে বিয়া দিছিলে ঠিক আছে আৰু Seleucusে এখন এম্পায়াৰ নিৰ্মাণ কৰিছিলে সেইখনৰ নাম কি হয় এফালে Mauryan empire আছিলে এফালে Seleucid empire আছিলে Seleucid empire Mauryan empire তো সেইকাৰণে Maurya এফালে ইমান জোৱান আছিলে আৰু Seleucid এফালে নাহিছিলে কাৰণ কি Mauryan empire থকা কাৰণে পিছলে যেতিয়া Seleucid empire টো ডিক্লাইন হ'ব Mauryan Empire decline hobo. Tetia iapra manhubo ahibo. Ar Seleucid Empire Greek asile no? Greek Empire. So yat Bactria buli thakibo Bactria. Bactria bilako eta Indo-Greek hoy. Seleucid Empire komi goi ase. Tapa Parthians. Parthians সকলো এটা এম্পায়াৰ বনাইছে আস্তেকে তো এনেকে ব্যাকট্ৰিয়ানছ বো আহিব পাৰ্থিয়ানছ বো আহিব তেনেকুৱা কথাটো সো সেলিউচিড এম্পায়াৰ এখন মৰিয়ান এম্পায়াৰ সাইডতে চলি আছিল তো এটো পিলাৰ দেখিছে এটো আমি কালি চাইছিল এবাৰ লৰিয়া নন্দনগড় মেগাসিনে কি কৈছে যে আমাৰ মৰিয়াৰ যেটো ক্যাপিটাল আছিল পাটনা Patna asile as splendid as the capital of Iran. Fragments of stone pillars and stumps. Ekarne apnare dekhise Bihar manhu bilake they are crazy about administration. Agor pora. Because there has been a legacy. There has been a legacy of administration. So hetu karone hetu hoise. So our thinking, our culture to affect kore bahut. Fragments of stone pillars and stumps indicating a presence of 80 pillared hall. 80 pillar thoka hall ta paise have been discovered at Kumrahar on the outskirts of modern Patna. Modern Patna usort 80 pillared hall ta paise. Eto Mauryan times boli kobo bicharise. Although the remains do not recall the magnificence mentioned by Megasthenes, they certainly attest the high technical skill attained by Mauryan artisans in polishing the stone pillars. So Mauryan artisans bilake bahut dhuniya polish koribo parisile, which are as shining as northern black polished ware. Northern black polished ware homane shine korisile stone pillars bilak ami dekhisilu. It must have been a difficult task to carry huge blocks of stone from the quarries and to polish and embellish them when they were placed erect. So etu korato kiman tough hoisile apnar bhabisau. All this seems to be a great feat of engineering. Engineering to bahut beshi bhalo goisile hetu homoy. Each pillar is made of a single piece of sandstone. So it is important. Kuntu stone use korisile sandstone. Note kori dio. Only their capitals, which contain beautiful sculptures in the form of lions or bulls, are joined with the pillars on the top. So pillars are porot. Yatata. Capital eta di disile. The polished pillars were set up throughout the country. Throughout the country, ami dekhisu pillars bilak, pillar inscriptions bilak. The technical knowledge involved in their polishing and transport spread far and wide. The Maurya artisans also started the practice of hewing out caves from rocks for monks to live in. So Mauryan jibilak stone craftsmen asile, stone masons asile, tenologe guhao kati disile monks bilako karone. The earliest examples are Barabar caves at a distance of 30 km from Gaya. Later, this kind of cave architecture spread to western and southern India. Ami southern India bahut khini temples dekhim, cave temples dekhim, kintu inspired by Maurya. Spread of material culture. Eto material culture jitu asile trade ityadi eto spread hoise sob phale Maurya times episode. On the one hand, the Mauryas created for the first time a well-organized state machinery. Eto bull capital akobar sailok Rampurva bull. Eto amar Ashok Chakra abacus ase. Etu hude hathi aru ki ase bull ase no hathi aru bull tatolot. দেখিছে নে এটো সুধিব পাৰে চাৰিটা লায়ন্স দেখিছে কিমান পলিশড so operated in the heart of the empire কি heart of the empire operate কৰে well organized state machinery heart of the empire আছে well organized state machinery on the other hand the conquest opened the doors for trading and missionary activities so traders বিলাকে কেতিয়া যাব পাৰিলে missionary activities কেতিয়া কৰিব পাৰিলে যেটা conquest হল ন areas বিলাকৰ যেনে ব্ৰিটিছ এম্পায়াৰ সময়ত আমাৰ ইংলিছ খ্ৰীষ্টিয়ান মিশনাৰী সকল আহিছিলে তেনেকুৱা It seems that the contacts established by administrators, traders, and Jaina Buddhist monks led to the spread of material culture of the Gangetic Basin to the areas situated on the periphery of the empire. So, la periphery, empire jo hekhot, jibilak jaga ase, ei jaga bilakole traders bilak gol aru ei jaga bilakogu unnoto kori dile aru. The new material culture in the Gangetic Basin was based on intensive use of iron. Ami janu etu. Plenty of punchmark coins, abundance of beautiful pottery called northern black polished ware. So Ashokai northern black polished ware use korisile. Introduction of burned bricks and ring wells. Ring wells use korisile. And above all, on the rise of towns in northeastern India. A Greek writer called Arian states that it is not possible to record with accuracy the number of cities. Etia ekhinte ami eta terracotta figurine ta sailok Maurya times or. Yeah, it's a terracotta figurine of Mauryan times. So iman beshi asile cities bilako count koribo pora na jay. Thus, the Maurya period witnessed rapid development of material culture in the Gangetic Basin. Rapid development of material culture, cities, towns, bahut beshi hoy gol on account of easy access to rich iron ores of southern Bihar. People use more and more of iron implements. To this period belongs socketed axes, sickles, and possibly plowshare on a large scale. Large scale of agriculture hoisegir. Although arms and weapons were the monopoly of the Maurya state, the use of other iron tools was not restricted to any class. So arms and weapons bilak sadharan manhuhe use kobo nwarisile kintu ki hoisile beleg tools bilak use kobo parisile. Their use and manufacture must have spread from Gangetic Basin to distant parts of the empire. In the Mauryan period, burnt bricks were used for the first time in northeastern India. So northeastern India for the first time ketia burnt brick use kora hoise Maurya times. Ta agot manhu bilake northeastern India burnt bricks use kora nasile. Northeastern India mane Bihar, Bengal aru. Etu note kori rakhibo. The Maurya structures made of burnt bricks have been found in Bihar and Uttar Pradesh. Houses were made of both bricks and timber. Katho use korisile or bricks use korisile, which was available in plenty because of thick vegetation in ancient times. Augustinus speaks of wooden structures in Maurya capital of Pataliputra. In fact, Nizar capital to wooden structures use korisile. Excavations show that logs of wood were also used as an important line of defense against flood and foreign invasion. Gor banabole use korisile. The use of burnt bricks spread in the outlying provinces of the empire. So hey Maurya jaga heartland pora baki jagaleo bricks pur spread holaru. Because of the moist climate and heavy rainfall, it was not possible to have lasting and large structures made of mud or mud bricks as we find in dry zones. So yat to iman borokhun hoy to he karone yat structures mud brick structures bu napalo ami. Burnt bricks bu ase Therefore, the diffusion of the use of burnt bricks proved to be a great boon. Eventually, it led to the flowering of towns in different parts of the empire. Similarly, the ring wells, which appeared first under the Mauryas in the Gangetic Basin, ring wells, Harappat asile na nai? Yes or no? ring wells Harappat nasile niki? ring wells Harappat asile niki? মানুহবিলাকৰ ঘৰে ঘৰে wells নাছিলে জানো? এতিয়া ring wells which appeared first under the Mauryas in Gangetic Basin. Gangetic Basinot প্ৰথম Mauryas under আহিছে. Spread beyond the heart of the empire. Since ring wells could supply water to people for domestic use, it was not imperative now to found settlements on the banks of rivers. Ring well নাই বুলি কৈছে Harappat. Okay. তো Harappa wells বোৰ কেনেকুৱা আছিলে? এটো চাবচোন তেতিয়া হলে। Harappa মানুহবিলাকৰ ঘৰত wells আছিলে নহয়? কেনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ wells আছিলে তেতিয়া? Circular wells তো দেখিছো আমি। তো এতিয়া কুয়া হোৱাৰ পিছত মানুহবিলাকে কি হল এতিয়া মানুহবিলাকে যতে ততে cities কৰিব পৰা হৈ গল। ৰিভাৰ্ছৰ দৰকাৰ নাই, ৰিভাৰ্ছ নহলে হৈ যাব। Okay, ring wells nasile, wedge shaped bricks asile. Thank you so much. So, itare bonua wedge shaped bricks ere Harappat wells bu asile. Ring di bonua nasile. Note kore lobo apnaloke. So, etia kuar bahaduri hetu hol je river dorkar nai te manhok hei koibole. Ghor banabole. They also served as soak pits in congested settlements. So, pani drain hoi poriboleu eta hubitha asile ei wells bilak. So, soak pit hisabe use korisile. The elements of the Middle Gangetic material culture seem to have been transferred with modification to North Bengal, Kalinga, Andhra and Karnataka. So, ebur jaga agote backward asile Bengal, Kalinga, Andhra or Karnataka. Yat material culture, mane trade, cities, ebila gyale ahile after Maurya times. In Bangladesh, where we find Mahasthana inscription in Bogra, etu hoise amar Lomas Rishi, Barabar Hills. Lomas Rishi cave hoy etu in Barabar Hills. Bogra district in Maurya Brahmi, we find NBP in Dinjapur district. NBP shards have also been found at some places in Chandraketugarh in 24 Parganas in West Bengal. So, ebilagotu northern black polish ware poa goise. Bangladeshotu poa goise. Hetu kotha. Gangetic associations can be attributed to settlements as Shishupalgarh in Orissa. These settlements are ascribed to Maurya times in 3rd century BC, and they contain NBP, iron implements, and punch mark coins. Shishupalgarh tu koise je Shishupalgarh Orissa tatu enukwa dhoroner NBP, iron implements poa goise. Shishupalgarh kot ase? Situated near Dholi and Jawgada. Dholi yat ase, Jawgada yat ase, yate Shishupalgarh ase settlement. Ar yat ki paise? NBP paise. Aru ki paise? Punch mark coins paise. Aru iron paise. So, enekwa prashno hobo pare je NBP, punch mark coin, iron paise eta settlementot. He settlement to kuntu period or hoy eneke hudi dibo. So, teneke questions bu frame kobo para jabo. So, concept clear thakile ebu questions apnai koribo paribo. Where Ashokan inscriptions have been found on ancient highway passing along the eastern coast of India. Material culture may have reached this area as a result of contact with Magadha. This contact may have started in the 4th century BC, when the Nandas said to have conquered Kalinga. So Magadhar para etu ahise Nandar time opera, but it deepened after the conquest of Kalinga in the 3rd century BC. Possibly as a measure of pacification after Kalinga War, Ashoka promoted some settlements in Orissa which had been incorporated into his empire. So Ashoka kisman settlements koraise manhu bilakor. Settlements kele koraise jate tat administration to anibo pare. Jate tat taxation to arambo hobo pare. To hekarne nijor porastha kora jagat settlements bohaise. Although we find iron weapons and implements at several places in Andhra and Karnataka in Maurya period, the advance of iron technology was the contribution of the megalith builders. Megalith builders, a megalith builders hunise ne megalith kun hoy megalith builders সকল জানে নেকি আপোনালোকে? Who are noted for various kinds of large stone burials. Megalith builders kunbur hoy ji hokole large stone burials korisile nohoy monot ase ne? So cave or side ot eneke large stone disile korisile ami, including those of a round form. But some of these places have Ashokan inscriptions as well as NBP belonging to the etu Silop ring wells ekita. Ring wells. Ring wells bu kihor asile? Luhar asile ne kihor asile? Ring wells. Sandstone. Burnt bricks. Terracotta is the correct answer. Burnt bricks bili kolo hobo, kintu etu terracotta is appropriate. Ring to banai pine jui lagai disile aru jeneke ei je phulor tub banai jeneke terracotta. The 3rd century BC. For example, a few inscriptions of Maurya times have been found at Amaravati. Amaravati monot ase ne apnalogor Amaravati kenuka inscription ase? Pillar, rock edict kenuka ase? Amaravati. Monot ase ne apnalogor? Pillar edict asile na Amaravati? Yes. And Ashokan inscriptions have been found in Yeraguddi. Apnaloke Yeraguddi boli pohise? Yeraguddi to ase. Yeraguddi in Andhra. Yeraguddi to Andhra to kenuka dhoronor inscriptions ase? Pillar inscriptions ase ne ki ase? Major rock edicts ase Yeraguddi. No? Very good. It therefore appears that from the eastern coast, ingredients of material culture percolated through Maurya context into the lower Deccan Plateau. So, etia amar je material culture to Deccan Plateau le keneke ahile Maurya context opor ahile. The art of making steel may have spread through Maurya context in some parts of the country. Etia iron nohoy, iron opor eta alloy steel to banao para hoy gol. Steel objects belonging to about 1200 BC, 200 BC, or to an earlier date have been found in the Middle Gangetic Basin. The spread of steel may have led to the use of better methods of cultivation in Kalinga and created conditions for the rise of Cheti kingdom in that region. Cheti kingdom code ase Kalinga. In some ways, the Satgao Empire, our South India, Deccan area Satavahana Empire ahise, was the projection of Mauryan Empire in the Deccan. The Satavahana rulers adopted some administrative units of Mauryas, and in their times Buddhism flourished in the same manner as it did in the heart of the empire of Ashoka. So Satavahana rulers of Buddhism flourished korise Satavahana times of, just like Maurya. Ami pohim Satavahana bikhoye. The existence of inscriptions, occasional NBP potsherds, punchmark coins in parts of Bangladesh, Orissa, Andhra, Karnataka from near about 300 BC shows that in the Maurya period, attempts were made to spread elements of Middle Gangetic Basin culture in distant areas. So, Mauryar jitu trade, craft, ebur distant areas of prasar korise. The process seems to be in accord with the instructions of Kautilya. Kautilya advised that new settlements hobo lage boli Kautilya koise be founded with the help of cultivators who were apparently Vaishyas, and with that of Shudra laborers who should be drafted from overpopulated areas. Eto apnalok karone important hoy, apnaloke sao je manu bilake ki korisile eta jagat thup nekhai tarpa manubu ulai goisile. Hetu hoday hoi thake. Overpopulated hoi gele laf ki hobo yat? Pressure on resources hobo. Tatko yar idea to loi goi pine belegot settlement korise. So hetue kotha, hetue etio hoi ase, and that is the reason for migration. Migration is such an issue, no? Etu upor apnaloke bahut bhal content pai goise, historical antecedents pai goise jodi migration or upor essay ahe ba question ahe. So we'll know that migration to bahut essential hoy. Nohole eta jagale jodi sob manu thupkai thake kenko hobo? Overpopulation hoy jabo. Overpopulation or pora migration to prescribed asile in Arthashastra. In order to bring the virgin soil under cultivation, the new peasants were allowed remission in tax and supplied with cattle, seeds, and money. Cattle disile, seeds disile, or money disile, jate manu bilake beleg jagat settle hoige. The state followed this policy in the hope that it would get back what it had given. So state ki bhabisile je invest koile return pam boli teloke cattle, seeds, or money prothomote free ke di disile. Such settlements were necessary in those areas where people were not acquainted with the use of iron plowshare. So teloke ebu prothomote dibo lagibo, supply koribo lagibo. Etia apnaloke dekhise tractor ityadi, power tiller, eblak die na sarkare? Yes or no? Government power tiller দিয়ে নে? মানে আৰু ঘৰ বনাই দিয়ে, IY এনেকে ঘৰ বনাই দিয়ে. So এইবিলাক কিয় কৰে? যাতে not only হে মানুহবিলাকৰ poverty পা ওলাব আৰু লগতে they will be aiding to the growth of the state. তাৰমানে growth of the individuals হলেহে growth of the nation হ'ব. মানে so it is the duty jate growth karone help kore. So hetu agor pore kori ahisile. How far the Maurya towns facilitated the diffusion of material culture to the Gangetic Basin into the tribal belt of Central India. Tribal belt of Central India. Etiao ei belt to tribal belt e hoy ase. Extending from Chotanagpur in the east to the Vindhyas in the west cannot be said. Kiman successful hoisile hetu kobo nwari, but it is pretty clear that Ashoka maintained intimate contacts with the tribal people who were exhorted to observe dharma. Dharma follow kobile koise tribal manu bilako. Their contact with the Dhamma Mahamatras appointed by Ashoka must have enabled them to imbibe elements of higher culture prevalent in the Gangetic Basin. Etia hetu eta inherent eta কি বুলি কয় need আছে যে ট্ৰাইবেল সকলক যাতে এগ্ৰিকালচাৰ কৰিব লগাব যাওক এগ্ৰিকালচাৰ কৰিলে তেতিয়াপা তেওঁপা ট্যাক্স লব পৰা যাব প্ৰডাক্টিভ হ'ব In this sense, Ashoka launched a deliberate and systematic policy of acculturation. তেওঁলোকক সভ্য বনাবলৈ চেষ্টা কৰি আছে He states that as a result of the diffusion of dharma, man would mingle with gods. এনেকুৱা কথাও কৈছে যে dharma হলে মানে gods ৰ লগত mingle কৰিব পাৰিব This implies that tribal and other peoples would take the habits of a settled, tax-paying, peasant society and develop respect for paternal power, royal authority, কথা মানিব, monks, priests, and officers who help enforce this authority. So monks hawk, priests hawk, officers hawk. Officers belong to hard power hoy. Officers যোৱা আগতে monks আৰু priests মানুহক বুজাইছিলে যে আমাৰ ৰজা বহুত ভাল হয় আপোনালোকে ধৰ্ম পালন কৰক settle life ta log tax pay korok peasant society hisabe thakok আৰু respect korok হেবু কথা monks or priests হেকানে বহুত important হয় in for the political class His policy succeeded Ashoka claims that hunters and fishermen had given up killing and practiced dharma eto ami kaliu pohisu so policy to succeed korise yes This means that they had taken to a sedentary agricultural life. Ekhinle clear hoy gol hokolore before going to causes of the fall of Mauryan Empire. Very good. It is causes of the fall of Mauryan Empire misao. What were the causes of the fall of Mauryan Empire? Kyo? Why? আপোনালোকে এনে ককচোন নপঢ়াকেও কি ভাবে আপোনালোকে কিয় ফল হ'ব পাৰে why interpolation কৰিব কৈছো আপোনালোকক interpolation বহুত ইম্পৰ্টেন্ট টু কাৰণ কি কিতাবা আপোনালোকে এনসাৰ্স বোৰ ইন্টাৰপোলেট কৰিবলগা হ'ব পাৰে একো নাজানে কিবা এটাটো লিখি আহিব লাগিব এই কাৰণে this begins here loopholes in the administration Well, very good. Eto hobo. Weaker rulers after Ashoka. Yes. Far too many areas to administer hobo. Feudalism. Feudalism to bahut pisot ahe feudalism or concept to okon beleg hoy. Feudalism are middle ages medieval times ata ahibo after ancient times. Ancient times of centralized administration আপোনালোকে দেখিব Centralized administration is opposite to feudal division among people financial crisis that are important kotha too much concentration of religious activities yes expenditure of army yes So, jibilak logically true hoy, ebu kobo pare apnaloke. Ako problem nai. History to apnaloke interpretation o important na. Apnaloke ki bhabe. So, new interpretation ulabo teneke. Oppressive rule, yes. Spread of culture to nearby areas. Bahut dhuniya kotha etu. Spread of culture to nearby areas. Internal discord o hobo pare. Religious policy. Very good. So, আপোনালোকে লিখিব পাৰিব মনে গম পালো মই The Magadhan Empire which had been reared by successive wars culminating in the conquest of Kalinga began to disintegrate after the exit of Ashoka in 232 BC Ashoka exit কৰা পিছত disintegrate হৈ গল Several causes seem to have brought about the decline এটা cause to হ'ব নোৱাৰে কেবাটাও cause হ'ব and fall of the Mauryan Empire প্ৰথম কথা এটা কৈছে যে brahminical reaction এটা সময়ত ব্ৰাহ্মণ সকল বহুত টপ পজিশন আছিলে in later Vedic times They exerted a lot of influence. Those Brahmins reaction korile began as a result of policy of Ashoka. There is no doubt that Ashoka adopted a tolerant policy and asked the people to respect even the Brahmanas. Respect even the Brahmanas বুলি কৈছে আগতে তো respect the Brahmanas আছিলে এতিয়া even the Brahmanas হৈ গ'ল but he prohibited killing of animals বন্ধ কৰিলে ন and birds and derided superfluous rituals performed by women womenক rituals perform কৰিবলৈ মানা কৰিলে যে আপোনালোকে simple chill হৈ থাকক মানে ক'লে this naturally affected the income of the Brahmanas income affect কৰিলে rituals hole income hobo the anti-sacrifice attitude of Buddhism and Ashoka naturally brought much loss to the Brahmanas. So sacrifice ityadi bondho kori dia loge loge loss hoy gol Brahmanas who lived on gifts made to them in various kinds of sacrifices. Hence, in spite of the tolerant policy of Ashoka, the Brahmanas developed some kind of antipathy to him. Dekhibo nuarisile Brahmanas hokole Ashoka. Obviously, they were not satisfied with his tolerant policy. They really wanted a policy that should favor them and uphold the existing interests and privileges. Some of the new kingdoms which arose on the ruins of the Mauryan Empire were ruled by the Brahmanas. So it was an important fact. Note Shungas, Kanvas, Shunga ahile Maurya pisor no Pushamitra Shungai mari pelale Brihadrathak last Mauryan king. Tar pisor Shunga pisor ahile Kanva kot ahile Magadhat who ruled in Madhya Pradesh rule korisile. Further east on the remnants of Mauryan Empire were Brahmanas. Shungas and Kanvas kun asile Brahmanas asile. Similarly, Satvahanas, who founded a lasting kingdom in western Deccan and Andhra, claimed to be Brahmanas. So Satvahan, naluku Brahmanas asile. These Brahmana dynasties performed Vedic sacrifices which were neglected by Ashoka. So, Hindu rule, Buddhist rule, Hindu rule, Muslim rule, Christian rule, enake ahise. Tapa eta modern India bonise. To enake kismane history to interpret kore, religious interpretation. So, ami Shungas, Kanvas, aru Satvahanas ebar likhi loge tinta naam নতুনকে যি সকলে শুনিছে বা আগতে শুনা সকলেও Maurya pisot kun ahile buli kole Shunga pisot kun ahile Kanva aru Satvahana Deccanot ahile ekita likhi lok Satavahan prothom sinaki aji aulukor logot bohutor kismane jane agor pra Financial crisis. Economy to hodai thakibo. Economy expect to hodai thakiboi. Economy to nuhua ke paisa to sobbote involved thakiboi. Financial crisis. The enormous expenditure on the army. Army kiman kharos hoisile. And payment to bureaucracy. Bahut besi bureaucracy kharos hoisile. Created a financial crisis for the Mauryan Empire. Hetu karne pisole ki hol bureaucracy coins ore payment nokori ki korile land di payment korile. Aru tetia ami eta feudal element pai golu. Feudalot ki hoy coins iman prosolita nohoy trade nohole coins u nohoy. So tetia holo jodi empire koribo lage kingdom koribo lage tete ki dibo lebo land. So ami cattle opor ahile coins opor ahile land opor ahile ako money. Eta money pra eta plastic money le gusi goise. Plastic money ako bitcoin ahi goise etia. So economy has changed its form. ক্লিয়াৰ হ'ল সকলোৰে কথাটো কেটেলৰ পৰা কইন্স land money bitcoin the economic history of the world as far as we know in ancient times the Mauryas maintained the largest army and largest regiment of officers. Despite all kinds of taxes imposed on the people, it was difficult to maintain these huge superstructure. A superstructure to maintain koribole bahut digdar. A base superstructure to Marxist analysis hoy. Base to hoise economy. Our superstructure to jodi enukwa hoy jay, iman dangor superstructure hoy jay, a economy to e bohon koribo nware, tetia etu structure to collapse hoy jay. Base aru superstructure. So a to bahut besi heavy hoy gole, economy e hold koribo nware. Tetia. তো এটো মিস গগৈ কৈছে যে হেতিয়া ব্ৰাহ্মণৰ পপুলেশন বেছি আছিল নেকি তো সেম কোৱেশ্চন মই কৰো ইংলিশ বিলাক যে আহিছিলে ইন্ডিয়া কন্ট্ৰোল কৰিছিলে তো তেওঁলোকৰ পপুলেশন বেছি আছিল নেকি আপোনালোকে যে এসিএস আৰু আইএস হ'ব ইউ উইল কন্ট্ৰোল ইন্ডিয়া আপোনালোকৰ পপুলেশন বেছি নেকি হয় পপুলেশন বেছি নহয় আপোনালোকৰ আইডিয়াজ বেছি ideas bu enake apnaloke loi ase you know how India has been ruled aru hebilakor pa you will be ruling so technically you all will be rulers lagile ami jimane public servant noko actually in effect you are ruling you are administering clear holne miss Gogoi it's about the power who owns the power car influence besi ase aru jar friends besi ase their influence besi ase jak besi manhoe people know more people hetu so connect to more people you'll become powerful you'll get votes or if you get votes of India you can become PM of India so it's about connection power is about connection making friends knowing people aru manu bilake apna kotha hunibo lagibo so if you serve them if you do good to them they will definitely do good to you also it seems that Ashoka made large grants to Buddhist monks which left the royal treasury empty etu kotha ta koise যে ইমান ডোনেশন দি দিছে ডোনেশন কৰা কাৰণেও এমটি হৈ গৈছে বুলি কৈছে in order to meet expenses in the last stage they had to melt the images made of gold so gold statue bur গলাবলগিয়া হৈ গলগে লাষ্টত গৈ পিনে oppressive rule financial cost to gom pale sobe oppressive rule in the provinces was an important cause of the breakup of the empire. Etia oppressive rule hole 5 বছৰ পিছত election আহি যায়. So hetu karne এই shifting to karne মানুহ বিলাকৰ মাজত rebellion নহয়. কিন্তু আগৰ টাইমত কি আছিল rebellion হৈ পিনে বেলেগ হৈ গৈছিল. এতিয়া democratic setup to হেকাৰণে চলি আছে because 5 বছৰ মৰে মানুহৰ frustration খিনি গুছাব পাৰি মানে. In the reign of Bindusar, the citizens of Takshila bitterly complained against the misrule of wicked bureaucrats. So wicked bureaucrats bur etiao ase, wicked bureaucrats bilakok transfer hoy jay ba suspend kori die henukwa hoy. So teneke manu bilak basi jay aru big mantris bilakok you can change in 5 years. So wicked bureaucrats ki ase dusta matyas Dust mane beya amatyas mane ki officers dharma mahamatra amatya mane officers Their grievance was redressed by the appointment of Ashoka. Ashoka ki korile? When Ashoka became emperor, a similar complaint was lodged by the same city. The Kalinga edicts show that Ashoka felt very much concerned about the oppression in the provinces and therefore asked the Mahamatras not to torture townsmen without due cause. Eku reason nohoake apnalage otyachar nokoribo manhu bilakok. For this purpose, he introduced rotation of officers in Toshali, Ujjain, and Takshila to transfer korai thakile officers bilakok. ঠিক আছে so transfer কৰা পাৰিলে মানে central administration to strong হৈ আছে পিছলে দেখিব যে central administration যেতিয়া weak হৈ যায় কাবাক transfer কৰিব দিলেও transfer নহয় নাই মই transfer নহয় বুলি কৈ দিব stay কৰাই লব নিজকে আৰু তেনেকে নিজৰ পুতেকো তেতিয়া হে বস্তুটো পাই যাব তেতিয়া hereditary position হৈ যাব তেতিয়া ৰজাই হৈ গল আৰু transfer কৰিব নোৱাৰিলে he himself spent 256 nights on a pilgrimage tour which may have helped administrative supervision. But all this failed to stop oppression in the outlying provinces. So, court to control thake, a bahiro areas bilakot otyachari hoi jay. Otyachari hoi jay, so he karne digdar hoi jay hoday. And after his retirement, Takshila took the earliest opportunity to throw off the imperial yoke. So Takshila prothom ulai goise Mauryan Empire para aru Takshila kot ase apnaloke jane kot ase Takshila etu clear hoy gol oppressive rule everyone spread of new material knowledge in outlying areas we have seen how Magadha owed its expansion to certain basic material advantages. Which are the basic material advantages ji Magadhar asile? Can you tell me? Basic material advantages over others ki asile? Je Magadha iman powerful hoy gol. Pisole ekhini bostu beleg manhu pale. Obse teoloku strong hoy gol. So equal hoy joa loge loge rebellion hoy jay. So equal, you fight with your friends, no? You never fight with your bosses. So equal hoy joa loge loge people start fighting. So Magadha enuka ki ase jitu amar osor nai. So bakibu areas o tetia fighting equal hoy jay jetia fighting arambho kori dia. Material advantage ki asile iron asile trade army elephant yes coins eblak bhal asile once their knowledge of use of these elements of culture spread to central India the Deccan and Kalinga as a result of the expansion of Magadhan Empire the Gangetic basin which formed the heart of the empire lost its special advantage a material culture trade ityadi iron eblak jetia bahirle spread hol tetia Magadhar iman batta to komi gol aru the regular use of iron tools and weapons in the peripheral provinces coincided with the decline and fall of Mauryan Empire bahirat jetia iron tools regularly use kobo lole hane tetia decline to ekelogote hoy gol aru iron tools to the main bostu on the basis of material culture acquired from Magadha, new kingdoms could be founded and developed. This explains the rise of Shungas, Kanvas in central India, or Chettis. Chettis kot asile, Chetti kingdom kot asile. Shungas to Kanvas to Kompales, Kanvas to Madhya Pradesh around. Kalinga, very good. And that of Satbahanas in Deccan. Etia, neglect of northwestern frontier and the Great Wall of China. Great Wall of China ko kopar ahi gol. Let us see. Since Ashoka was mostly preoccupied with missionary activities at home and abroad, he could not pay attention to safeguarding the passage of the northwestern frontier. Northwest to safe kobo noarile Ashokai. This had become necessary in view of the movement of tribes in Central Asia in the 3rd century BC. 3rd century BC movement arambo hoise Central Asia. Teneke Aryans bilakor movement arambo hoisile. Eti ako Central Asia movement arambo hoise 3rd century BC. Kyo? Why? Why do you think eto hobo pare? Movement kyo arambo hoise? Central Asia 3rd century BC movement kyo arambo hoise? Movement kyo arambo hoy eni tribes bilakor? Trade ne belek kiba. Resources, in search of resources. Culture no hoy. In search of new land. Land buli kok by resources buli kok. Eta jagat jeta population bahut beshi hoy jay. Tetia he manhubur ulai ahe aru. Ajikali families bu ulai ahe. Hoyne joint family thake prothomote. Joint family tapa jikhini kheti kore. He kheti khinire e নহয় নুজুৰে তাৰ পৰা ওলাই আহে ওলাই আহি খালি জায়গাত গৈ পিনে নিজে ঘৰ কৰেগে তো ৰিসোৰ্সেছৰ কাৰণে কাজিয়া হৈ গলে মানে বা ৰিসোৰ্সৰ কাৰণে নুজুৰিলে তেতিয়া মানুহবোৰ ওলাই আহে আগতে ট্ৰাইব কে ওলাই আহিছিলে এতিয়া মানুহবিলাকে ফ্যামিলি কে ওলাই যায় হয়নে আৰু ইন্ডিভিজুৱেল হিচাপে ওলাই যায় যেনেকে পঢ়িবলৈ ওলাই যায় দিল্লী বেংগলোৰ গল বা গুৱাহাটীলৈ আহিলে তাৰপিছত ইয়াতে সেটেল হৈ গল আৰু ইয়াতে ঘৰ কৰিলে আৰু you can see কিয় বাহিৰ ওলাই গৈছে কাৰণ কি তাত ৰিসোৰ্স কলে এডুকেশনটো নিজৰ গাঁৱত নাই নিজৰ ষ্টেটত নাই হে কাৰণে মানুহবিলাক ওলাই গৈছে আৰু ভাল ভাল জবসও নাই ভাল জবস अवेलेबल ইয়াত নাই হে কাৰণে বাহিৰত ওলাই গৈছে ৰিসোৰ্সেছ ফৰ বেটাৰ ৰিসোৰ্সেছ তেনেকুৱা কথা এতিয়াও তেনেকে মানুহবিলাকে ওলাই গৈছে তেতিয়া ট্ৰাইব কে মুভমেন্ট হৈছে আৰু এটা মুভমেন্ট আকৌ আৰম্ভ হৈছে Central Asia in the 3rd century BC যেতিয়া এগাল মানুহ একেলগে ওলাই আহে হেতুক মানুহে ইনভেশন বুলি কয় ন মানে বাবৰে একেলগতে ওলাই আহিছে নিজৰ গোটেই মানুহখিনিক লৈ পিনে তেতিয়া ইনভেশন বুলি কৈছে হেতু এৰিয়ানছ সকলে একেলগতে ওলাই আহিছে ওয়েভছত আহিছে তো হেতু ইনভেশন বুলি কৈছে ৰাইট সো এগাল মানুহ যেতিয়া একেলগে ওলাই আহে তেতিয়া আমি ইনভেশন বুলি হেতু কৈ দিও migration and invasion kind of similar well hetu hoboi we cannot stop it because people need resources the Scythians were in a state of constant flux a nomadic people mainly relying on the use of horse they posed serious dangers to the settled empires in China and India Scythians bilak tetia বহুত রাইজ করেছে Scythians the Chinese ruler Shi Huangdi 247 to 210 BC constructed the Great Wall of China in about 220 BC to shield his empire against the attacks of Scythians তো হেতু সময়ত কি কৰিলে আমাৰ Chinese ruler Shi Huangdi তেওঁ কি কৰিলে founder of Qin dynasty হয় first emperor of unified China তো তেওঁ এখন great wall বনালে to shield his empire against the attacks of Scythians no similar measures were taken by Ashoka a threat to border চিন্তা নকৰিলে naturally when the Scythians made a push towards India they forced the Parthians and Shakas and the Greeks to move towards India. So, a Central Asia para jetia push korile, tetia Parthian asile, Shakas asile, Greeks asile. So এই মানুহবিলাকক যেতিয়া পুশ কৰিব এই মানুহবিলাকে এফালে আহিবনে তো সেই তেনেকে গ্ৰীক্স বিলাক ইণ্ডিয়ালৈ আহিলে শাকাজবোৰ ইণ্ডিয়ালৈ আহিলে পাৰ্থিয়ানছবোৰ ইণ্ডিয়ালৈ আহিলে তো স্কাইথিয়ানছবোৰ ইয়াত আছিলে যাৰ কাৰণে গ্ৰেট ৱাল বনাই দিলে চাইনাই পাৰ্থিয়ানছ শাকাজ আৰু গ্ৰীক্স ইণ্ডিয়া ফালে আহিবলগীয়া হৈ গ'ল ক্লিয়াৰ হলে কথাটো আইডিয়াটো স্কাইথিয়ানছ কেনেকে ৰিলেট হয় ইণ্ডিয়াত গ্ৰীক্স বিলাক পাৰ্থিয়ানছ বিলাক আহাৰ কাৰণে স্কাইথিয়ানছ বিলাকে হৰ্স খুব ইউজ কৰিছিলে yes no the Greeks had set up a kingdom in North Afghanistan hey kingdom খনৰ নাম কি আছিলে Bactria এটো লিখি লওক Bactria very important Greek Indo-Greeks বিলাক Bactria তো সেইকাৰণে আপোনালোকে দেখে আফগানিস্তানৰ মানুহবিলাক পাঞ্জাবী মানুহবিলাক so they so much Caucasian features আছে ন সেইকাৰণে আছে because intermingle হৈ গ'ল they were the first to invade India in 206 BC so Bactrians বিলাকে প্ৰথম 206 BC ত invade কৰিছে this was followed by a series of invasions which continued till the beginning of Christian era so Bactrians তেওঁলোকে first invade কৰিছে তাৰ পিছত বাকি বিলাকে invade কৰিব লাগি গ'ল The Mauryan Empire was finally destroyed by Pushyamitra Shunga in 185 BC. बहुत important. Pushyamitra Shunga কোন আছিলে? Who was Pushyamitra Shunga? এটো ক'ব লাগিব. Who was Pushyamitra Shunga? Very easy question. Scythians founder of Shunga dynasty is the correct name. Scythians bu originally core hoy. So Scythians bu ami ebar sai long. Let us see. এইখন ম্যাপখন আপোনালোকে দেখিছে এইটো সেলিউচিড এম্পায়াৰ দেখিলেনে তাপা এইটো ব্যাক্টেৰিয়া আফগানিস্তানত এয়া ব্যাক্টেৰিয়া আৰু এয়া পাৰ্থিয়া এইটো স্কাইথিয়ানছ শাকা স্কাইথিয়ানছ সেন্ট্রাল এশিয়া স্কাইথিয়ানছৰ কাৰণে ইয়াত ওয়াল বনোৱা হল চাইনা সবৰে ক্লিয়াৰ হল নে মিস্টাৰ তালুকদাৰ ইয়াতো স্কাইথিয়ানছ আপোনালোকে দেখিব স্কাইথিয়ানছ ইয়াতো আছে তো আমাৰ এই স্কাইথিয়ানছ বিলাকে পুশ কৰিছে তেওঁলোকক তো তেওঁলোক এফালে আহিছে এতিয়া আৰু সেলিউচিড এম্পায়াৰটো উইক হৈ গৈছে হেতু সময় ঠিক আছে সেলিউচিড এম্পায়াৰ এবাৰ চাই লওক আপোনালোকে এয়া হল মৌৰ্যন এম্পায়াৰ তাপা এয়া ফৰগানা দেখিছেনে বাবৰ ইয়াৰ পৰা আহিছে এতিয়া বাবৰ ইয়াৰ পৰা আহিছে ফৰগানাৰ পৰা তো মানুহ ইয়াৰ পৰা আহিও মানুহে ৰুল কৰিছে ইণ্ডিয়া একো ডাঙৰ কথা নহয় so Babur was a neighbor so who happened to be Islamized otherwise these people were here tribal people Islamized হৈ গল তাৰ পিছত they came from here Turks বিলাকো ইয়াৰ পৰা আহিছে আৰু তো এইটো সেলিউচিড এম্পায়াৰ আছিলে সেলিউচিড এম্পায়াৰ টু উইক হৈ যোৱাৰ পিছত ইয়াত এনেকে পাৰ্থিয়া আপোনালোকে দেখিছে পাৰ্থিয়া এইটো দেখিছে বেক্ট্ৰিয়া এইবোৰ কিংডমছ ডাঙৰ হ'ব ধৰিলে পাৰ্থিয়া ডাঙৰ হ'ব ধৰিলে বেক্ট্ৰিয়া ডাঙৰ হ'ব ধৰিলে সো ডেফিনেটলি এফালে আহিবই আৰু ইফালে তেওঁলোকে যাব বিচাৰিব এফালে আহিলে ইণ্ডিয়া ফালে আহিব হ'ব এইকেইটা হৈছে territories granted to Maurya by Seleucus. এইটো Seleucusৰ এম্পায়াৰ হয় এখন আৰু এইখিনি টেৰিটৰি দি দিছে কাক দিছে Mauryan এম্পায়াৰক দি দিছে west of Indus ঠিক আছে তো এইখিনি দেখিলে বুজি পালে তো ব্যাক্টেৰিয়াৰ পৰা মানুহবোৰ 206 BC এটাক কৰিছে তো এইটো এটা ইম্পৰ্টেন্ট এটো লিখি ললে নোট কৰিলে সবে although a brahmana he was a general of last Maurya king Brihadrath Brihadrathৰ কোন আছিলে জেনাৰেল আছিলে আমাৰ Pushyamitra Shunga he is said to have killed Brihadrath in public and forcibly usurped the throne of Pataliputra. The Shungas ruled in Pataliputra and central India, and they performed several Vedic sacrifices in order to mark the revival of Brahminical way of life. It is said that they persecuted the Buddhists. They were succeeded by Kanvas who were also Brahmanas. So, আমি Shungas আৰু Kanvasৰ কথা আমি গম পালো Pushyamitra Shungar কথা গম পালো last Mauryan king Brihadrathক openly murder কৰি দিছে এটো গম পালো আৰু আমাৰ Seleucid empire খন চালু কেনেকুৱা আছিলে আৰু Seleucid empire খন যেতিয়া উইক হৈ গল তেতিয়া কোন কোন কিটা আহিলে Scythians বুক ওপৰ আহিছে এই Scythians বিলাক ট্ৰাইবেল যেনেকৈ আৰিয়ানছ বোৰ ট্ৰাইবেল আছিলে তেনেকুৱা কথা সো এইটো কলিঙ্গা তো ইমানখিনি আছিলে আজিলে আশা কৰো সবৰে ক্লিয়াৰ হ'ল আজি ডিসকাশন খিনি কালি আমি ইন সেন্ট্রাল এশিয়ান কনটেক্সট আৰু তাৰ ৰিজাল্টস আমি চাম গ্ৰীক্স বিলাক আমি চাম আহিব গ্ৰীক্স ব্যাক্ট্ৰিয়ান গ্ৰীক্স বিলাক সো এই সকল আহিব আৰু এফালে yes সবৰে ক্লিয়াৰ হ'ল let us go to the after class. Thank you everyone for joining in live.